All right. So what else we got? We have Tone. We got something else.
Yeah, so I saw Machine Gun Kelly tweeted out yesterday or the day before. When you're hearing this, probably 4 or 5 days ago now, that he sold out his U.S. tour for the fall. Now that got me thinking, like, wow, I didn't even know it was on sale. First of all, which is one of those things in COVID times. It's like, is this next fall or is this fall of 2022? The second thing is like, I'm gonna go look and see if I can't find tickets somewhere, secondary market, whatever, and what do they cost. So I log on to Ticketmaster, and if you've listened to us for any length of time, you know we have our feelings about Ticketmaster. And I think, all right, I'm going to check it out. They have a ton of tickets on resale value for the closest date to us, which is Boston. And the cheapest ticket's $270 in their resale kind of website. Now, my thought is, and this is the skeptic and the pessimist in me, which I can be from time to time. Big acts like Machine Gun Kelly right now, he's having a moment. Obviously, he's had a moment with his pop punk album that came out last year and all that stuff. Like him and Ticketmaster are in cahoots. I'm going to be super conspiracy theory hat right now. They're in cahoots. They want to work together to recoup the money they lost that they would have made last year. So all those tickets sold out, I'm saying in quotation marks, to resellers that are putting them all back on the Ticketmaster website and jacking the prices. Now, I don't think this is going to work for smaller bands, but I do see this happening, over the next 6 months to a year as things open up with big acts because they think people will pay it. And it's wild to me. Like, I'm not paying $270 to see Machine Gun Kelly. I would like to see him, but I'm not going to pay that. What do you guys?
I'll go double. I'll go conspiracy theory 2.0. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That verified resale ticket, dun dun dun, is actually Ticketmaster themselves.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It's not even in cahoots with a third party. It's actually just them.
You don't think that they're splitting somewhat the act? That's what I think.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, if it is them, then yeah, that money would go to the act.
Yeah, I think it's a little complicated. But to your point, Twan, that it's Ticketmaster verified, whereas before it was a third-party company or third-party website platform where they would buy tickets. That's where this whole bot thing came from. They would set up computers and be first in line and, get the systems overcrowded with, their system getting all the tickets first before actual fans and created a mess of the whole ticket buying system, at least online. And back in the day, I think they would just have people stand in line early and stuff like that, which is a whole different thing. But to see it Ticketmaster verified is hard to decipher because that means it should, in theory, be actual fans that are like, I don't want to go anymore, so I'm going to put it up for sale. Well, talk about this is conspiracy theory 3.0. Most music fans, I want to say that I've met in my life, are pretty good people, humble people. I've rarely met a true music fan that's marked up the ticket, and sometimes a little bit. Hey, head service fees and shipping and handling, everything like so. That's why I'm charging you a little bit more than face. Almost never is it 2x the price. And I sent you guys a screenshot of a Deftones show here in LA for the fall, and it's an 8x face value on the verified Ticketmaster platform. So it's like, are fans really that greedy right now? Like, are they in line with what you're saying with Ticketmaster Live Nation and the artists? Like, hey, we're making up for lost time here, but I'm a fan, so I guess it's an investment. I think we joked via text, like this is like buying crypto, and like you're buying on the low, selling on the high, and watching it kind of fluctuate and pump and dump kind of thing. But I kind of doubt it. Like, I just don't see many music, like 95% of the music fan base just is trying to scam a fellow fan. It just it doesn't add up.
I think your fans, like this podcast, the three of us, are not looking to make a buck on tickets like that. I do think that somebody either gotten in and got a bunch of them and then threw them up for resale. And the thing that kind of tipped me off about this, I've been looking at trying to get to a Celtics game, a distant Boston Celtics game at the Garden down in Boston. And I tried to buy tickets on Sunday, and beside the point, couldn't get a single. But everything was verified resale. There was no just, this is the ticket, this is what the ticket cost. It was through the verified resale platform. So you're telling me those tickets were on sale already? Like, the season started and COVID was already a thing. Those tickets were never given to anybody or bought by any fan. They were just shoveled into there by somebody. Now, with the venue and all that on the sporting side, it's a little different. But with an act, a big act, working with Ticketmaster to recoup some of the money they all lost last year, my radar's up a little bit. I'm a little concerned that this is another one of those situations where goods are throttled and the average Joe is going to have no chance to get to see, one of their favorite big bands because they don't have $500 to even get in the building.
Well, I mean, think about the conversations we've had on this podcast. We speculated that when this opens back up, what's the capacity going to be? Because capacity, supply, is going to drive the demand, and we talked about how that could impact the price of tickets. Now, in this case, where my head went was, okay, $300 to see MGK. Okay, that's not enough alone for me to react, just given how I know that things are. I need more information. Is this full capacity? Because if it's full capacity and you're trying to get $300 a head, it's like, all right, come on now. His ticket, I mean, I love to do some data analysis. Like his ticket pre-COVID was probably $80. I mean, he came to Portland, right? With I forget who he came with, but if it's half capacity, then it's a softer blow. I mean, I'm still not paying it, but I guess either way, it doesn't surprise me. Like Ticketmaster's going to Ticketmaster, but I actually pulled up the kind of the grid of the venue, and there's tickets all next to each other. In fact, if you want a ticket right at the stage, it's like $1,700, and there's
it's not cheap.
10 of them in a row. So maybe it's distance by row, but the actual seats next to each other, there's seats next to each other you can get.
It all stinks. Yeah. It's all shady to me. I'm sorry.
Money grab.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is an inside job because you didn't know it even went on sale. So who had access to that information on the on sale before it was announced? I mean, did we really miss it? Maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't add up. There's something super bizarre about this. I almost feel like it's an experiment. Like, or what are people willing to pay? Mm-hmm. Let's jack these prices and just see if people start selling out venues at this price. Then we will, hike the prices knowing that, we actually can do this. Because that is something we talked about. We were like, oh shit, when shows come back, that face value of that ticket's going to skyrocket, based on the capacity. But if the capacity is full capacity, then there's no reason why that, price should go up other than, just inflation or something like that. Other than that, there's really no reason why it should be like I said, the Deftones ticket shouldn't be an 8X for the same ticket that was postponed, 12 months or whatever. That's ridiculous, or 18 months or whatever it is. And I just really don't think it's a bunch of fans doing that. So there's some weirdness about this.
It's not. And I mean, to go back to our conversation with Frank Turner a couple episodes back, which we've already mentioned, but he did that socially distanced show for the government in the UK to see how it would be feasibly to have the venue run at 30% capacity. And is there any way they can be viable doing that? And the answer was no, right? We know the answer is no at those regular ticket prices. Now, yeah, so you have to, the cost is to go somewhere, right? So you're going to raise the ticket prices some. But my worry here is that MGK tickets at most $100. We're almost 3 times as much now. The front row ones at most $200 to $300. $1,700 is ridiculous. Like that's not. Let's make this work so that we can pay everybody. Let's dip our hand into the cookie jar a little bit. That's where I have the issue.
Man, and the thing is though, and actually this kind of gets back to your Celtics example. What's probably going to end up happening is they're priced so high that someone's going to end up eating them. I don't see that seat getting filled, not at that price. And that's why, like Nate, it's almost, you could see these drop last minute just to move them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Will they online?
I don't know. I mean, The most expensive ticket's $2,000. I mean, you're not looking to move that ticket. It's almost like those were placed at such a premium, so even the $200 and $300 ticket looks like a deal.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Conspiracy 4.0.
I mean, it's just nuts.
I think they're just trying to, put it in the guise of Ticketmaster verified rather than going on StubHub where it's secondary market and you're like, this is more, but I really want to go and I really want to pit ticket. Whereas this is Ticketmaster, so you're like, the fans being tricked is thinking like, oh, this is another fan that just wants to make money, but I still want to go that bad. So they kind of avoid that shady talk that we talk about, like, oh, it's a third party that's also owned by Ticketmaster Live Nation behind the scenes. Now it's consolidated under Ticketmaster. Verified fan is supposed to be this guise of, no, it's verified. This is just another fan that's making money. But that fan behind the screen is actually a Ticketmaster employee.
Right. Exactly.
There was never, ever any change of hands of the ticket to, it's on sale. Now somebody has it. Now they're a verified fan. They want to put it up. No, it was always just, hey, they sold out, quotation marks again, and now they're up on our verified fans have put them on sale for 8x. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck you. Sorry, fuck you.
For context, Twan, here's an answer to your question. Rolling Stones, a Bigger Bang tour, I think it was '06. They were playing stadiums then too, obviously. So those shows were like super sold out, like crazy oversold kind of thing. But same thing, these scalpers buy tickets in mass quantity. They have some kind of system that they're able to buy. I don't know if you've ever been to like a Gillette Stadium or whatever. You see these scalpers, they have a stack of tickets. You're like, how did you even get those? They're basically nosebleeds, but they have some kind of system where they get them printed and send them directly to them or whatever. So Rob, guest on here, what episode was that, Tone?
17.
He said he went to the Rolling Stones show at Gillette, which I think a bunch of our friends did. And he said like this guy was like begging to sell these tickets. And Rob was like, how much? And it was like literally the show's about to go on. He's like, I don't know. I just anything. And the guy's like, oh man, this guy really wants to get rid of these tickets. And he pulls out this stack and he's like, oh, that's ridiculous. And it turns out like they lower the prices because the show started. So it went from like, $300, $400 a ticket to like, I think Rob bought one just for like a souvenir for like $10. You got another ticket just for the stub kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't feel bad for them. Yeah.
No. The crazy thing is like, it's almost like you only need a few suckers. Like when the prices are this high, I mean, MGK's guarantee, and I don't know this, my guess is it's $250,000 a night now, 300,000 a night, his guarantee. I mean, it's not like, when the price of tickets are this high, it's not like you get to move a shitload of units. So I think that's what they're hoping for. Get a few, even if it's, a half capacity, but you've pumped the price by what, 8-fold. It looks it. I'm looking at it prices now.
I think the thing that rubs me the most the wrong way is that all of these people that are going to finally get back to their, whether it's a part-time job or not at the venues, probably aren't going to see a lot of that extra cash. And that's where I'm like, we're not doing this to run on capacity to make some money back for the people who've been hurting for this year plus. And this is the last, thing that comes back to semi-normal. Like, what are we doing here? Where those people aren't going to see that money. Those people aren't, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the advances have been paid. This is just a markup on what's already marked up to begin with, beyond Keystone pricing to begin with. And also one more last point is this validates my festival going experience in terms of bargain, because MGK is also playing the Aftershock Festival in Sacramento, which I'm dying to go to, but I'm probably not going to. And that ticket face, it's a 4-day festival. I think face value is $350.
Wow.
And he's on that with like Metallica and a bunch of other bands. So I guess pivot to festivals.
Yep. No, I found that interesting when I saw it, and I was like, I want to dig deeper on this, and I knew we would be able to dig deep into it, because that's what we do. That's what we do here.
No, I think this is a great topic, and I think this almost channels back to, so he's claiming he sold it out. You go on the website. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's easily 20% of the venue is for sale. It reminds me of back in the days where labels would say they'd use the term shipped instead of sold for copies of CDs. You know what I mean? We shipped 200,000. All right, how many did you sell, you asshole? Like
you sold them to, whatever
you made
record.
them. I mean,
you sold them to Best Buy, but they didn't actually get sold. Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that conversation, and we always love to take down Ticketmaster a notch or two. And hey, open invite. We've said it on this podcast how many times? Come on and give us your side, and we'll decide if it's bullshit or not. Like, anybody that works at Ticketmaster Live Nation and wants to talk to us, we have questions. We would love to do it.
Yeah, we'll do that one live.
Totally. Yeah, we won't even have like 4 takes to start, right, Nate?
Yeah.
I love you, bro. I'm just kidding.
If this topic was the main segment of this episode, we would call this segment "Verified Resale Tickets to My Downfall Tour."
Yeah, right. That's great. That's awesome.